We are now in Conwy. Conwy is in the north of Wales.
We are here just a few hours before the Dragon's Back race. The Dragon's Back race is a race of 380 kilometers with 17,000 meters of altitude.
It's a 6-day, multi-day ultra trail running event, and we're going to traverse the entire length of Wales towards the south, and we're doing between 50 and 70 kilometers each day, which goes from the north of Wales, Conwy Castle, to the south of Wales, Cardiff Castle. En route we have 5 nights tent camps where we sleep, and without any showers, etc. And a lot of people, ultimately the goal is to do this on your own. This is a sole achievement, it's a solo sport, but it's so much more powerful if you can share those experiences with friends, with Thomas, my brother, Peter, Matthias, and Philippe. My name is Nick van Praag, I'm 35 years old. I'm married to my lovely wife Laura. I have 2 kids. I live in London for 12 years, and I'm a trail runner. So I think the goal for me is to finish this, of course, and that is not a given, absolutely not. And I think the reason that less than 50% of the people that have participated can finish this says enough. And if you look at the field, there is no one that clearly, in other races you can see why people don't finish. Here it's all very much athletic people, well prepared. A broader goal for me, for the team, would be that everyone can enjoy themselves, has a good time, that we have lots of laughter. And I think so far we've been doing great, but tough times are ahead. And when it gets tougher, I know that there will be energy required, not only from my behalf, but from the group as a whole, to keep everyone straight. When someone's going through a tough patch, you have some medical issues or whatever, blisters, etc., and you're down and you're not sleeping well, or whatever reason, it's the group's energy that will be required to get that guy through. And I really look forward to,
I'm Matthias, I'm a furniture designer. I have a wife, 3 kids. If I have to look at all sports that I do and what I like most about it, it's always being in nature. I get into the Dragon's Back race because Nick gave me a phone call and he said hey Matthias, I'm doing the Dragon Back race. You want to join me? And I said yes before he told me what it was, so but yeah, it's Nick's idea, so I knew it would be some kind of crazy thing, so yeah, I immediately wanted to do it. So I really like trail running is a lot of fun, and being a few days in the mountains with some friends is always, it's great. I'm here to have fun, to see where the limits are, how I will react on the extreme conditions, and looking forward for day 1. I think day 1 will be great. I think day 2 will be possible as well, and afterwards then we go into the zone that I don't know. It will be fun to break some new walls when you're doing ultra sports. Then you always hit a wall and then you think oh damn, I'm completely exhausted, and then you break through it, and afterwards you see another wall and you can break through it, and I think I will see some new walls that I've never seen before, and I'm looking forward to see if I can break through it. I hope I can. Nick is a friend of mine already for a very, very long time. I think from when we were 10 years old, and he always has too many ideas that he wants to do, and normally he always does them as well. So he has too much energy. really enjoys Spain, and he really likes to put new boundaries and going over them again and again. So it's quite exhausting to follow him. I think we're now the second crew that's joining him for his trail adventures. He did some trails with the first crew, and now they said like, okay, Nick, it's done. So now it's our turn.
It was basically Nick who decided that he needed new friends to convince to do something stupid. And the next victims, that was us. He was the one instigating the entire adventure, let's say. The team is a really, close team of friends. Obviously, I know all of them very well. We've been training for like about a year. Before we did other things like the Mare Nostrum and smaller trail run events. My name is Thomas. I'm 34 years old. Nick, he's my brother. I grew up with Nick. Matthias, who I've known from way back when I was a child, growing up. Listening to the briefing earlier, I wonder like how many people actually push that SOS button because they have cramps or because their legs are sore. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about going through something. So it's really interesting to see how deep we're gonna go emotionally. And I hope we're gonna go deep, because that's the point. So at some point you do ask yourself the question like, okay, what are my chances? So yeah, it's difficult to say, but I think for me personally, I'm gonna take it one day at a time, one kilometer at a time even, and see what my body tells me and how far I can get. Because it's also an important thing to keep in mind is that I don't want to destroy my body doing the race or trying to get to the finish lines.
The idea definitely comes from Nick. I think he's the one who inspired us all to become more sports-minded, to search for these great adventures / challenges that you're in regular life you're not really supposed to do, or it just never pops up into your mind like, oh yeah, let's run 380 kilometers. I'm Peter. I'm 34 years old. I'm the father of 3 young kids, Anna, Robin and Theo. I'm here for a nice event with 2 of my brothers-in-law, being the brothers of my wife Sarah, and 2 very good friends. I think when you look at our group, we're all very linked to each other. There are 2 main reasons why I wanted to do this. It's for being in nature for a long time and being together with people that are very close to me. I'm an only child, so I never had brothers and sisters, and becoming older, it makes it worse. So yeah, Sarah has 2 brothers, Thomas and Nick. They will join me on this crazy event. So for the brotherhood, that counts. And then yeah, Phil is for me, he's like, yeah, he's also a brother to me. We've been together on adventures in the Scouts for all our life. So, and then Matthias he's the cool guy, and that I got to know the last 2 years really well, and I appreciate him a lot. So the reason why I'm doing this is brotherhood, but also to thank Sarah for giving me 3 kids and allowing me to do this, still when we have a small baby, to follow my dreams. My feelings about this race are very double. or mixed or twisted, because when you look at it rationally, you say it's impossible, or I got a lot of fear, and I was even a bit mad during the year, because it was like I can never do this. So you had this negative thought of like it's impossible, so it wasn't giving you a lot of positive vibes. But then suddenly there's this other part of the brain, the more emotional, I don't know, that is coming closer every week. The race, you were more involved, you were reading more about it, watching videos, preparation. You had your trainings in the mountain, and suddenly you felt stronger. And now I'm not thinking about, like, I really cannot see me not finishing this race. It will be a big disappointment. So my strategy is in the food, because I do think it's the only, when you're running 70 kilometers, it's the only thing that, since you're self-supported, can make like a race of 70 kilometers. If you can look at the first 35 kilometers and look at like, oh, I'm gonna have this sandwich with the jamón ibérico, then you're very happy. So food, definitely, being with friends, and a little bit of preparation also. And not going too hard.
Peter and Thomas told me they're gonna do a trail run just for fun. And I said, I will come with you. And then they say, yeah, in 10 months we will do the Dragon's Back race if you want to. And I thought, yeah, there's no soccer this year, I have some time to train. And yeah, I thought, why not? My name is Philip Peters. I'm 34 years old. In general life, I'm a dentist. Normal, I'm doing a lot of sports. At home, I have a wife and 2 kids. My youngest kid is now 2 months old, so the training for the last 2 months was a little bit hard, but yeah, now we are here, so I'm happy to be here. And now for me it's the first time to do a multiplied day trail run. I hope so that because we are with 5, I hope we will be stronger together, because it's nice when you go to the camp and you have your friends over there, and they maybe can give you some more power to have the next stage. But yeah, I think you have to do it by yourself. I still have 10 months to train, so I thought, yeah, why don't we do it, and we try it. But the first thing was, I will do it, and then afterwards, after my inscription, it was like, oh, it's harder than I thought. So it will be, yeah, something to look forward. But it's immediately a big race, so maybe it was better to start with something smaller. But yeah, life is always full of surprises.
First day was beautiful, but brutal.
Brutal. One word. Brutal, to be very honest.
So forget everything I said yesterday. It was nothing went to plan. It was terrible.
Heavy. It was really heavy. It was almost impossible to run. It was always climbing up, climbing down. A lot of rocks, so it was very difficult to make some speed, and it was very hot. So it was difficult. You have to drink a lot, but you keep want to drink, but yeah, it was very heavy. It was a long day.
49 kilometers in total, the course. It was 3,800 meters of elevation. There was lots of discussion about this, but eventually my Garmin said 3,800 as well. I think that is what it was.
From 7 until 12 I was really hating it, and I was also, my heart rate was around 170, 180 all the time, and I was thinking to myself, if I keep this up, I'm never going to be able to do the second part. And somehow, I mean, I just paced myself and I went really slow, and that kind of helped me through to get to that point. And then I saw the guys, which weren't that much in front, so they were also pacing themselves easily. And then from noon on, I don't know what happened, but I was like, I had wings, yeah. So that was great. It was the last part which we all underestimated, I think, where we had Gripkoch, Snowdon, Trivan all in one pitch of 12 kilometers. It was just, yeah, it was too slow, and although the climbing was fun, it just didn't go very quick. So I think it took like 3.5 hours for those 12 kilometers alone. And then there were 3 descents with really high steepness that fucked my feet up a little bit. So we're gonna try to take care of that. Let's see if we can recover for tomorrow. Arriving on Kripkoch and seeing the other mountains around you in the distance, that moment, you could always see all the way to the sea. It was absolutely beautiful.
After 15k I ran out of water, did the stupid thing of trying to be light on what was not going to be a very hot day, but 20 degrees in the hills is hot. And I was counting on streams, there were none. There was one stream at kilometer 28 with the checkpoint at kilometer 29. So I was quite dehydrated by then, and I hadn't eaten for the last 10k of that stretch, which meant I felt that I had to eat a lot. So in my drop bag I put some food in there and stuffed it all in, noodles, some powder stuff that I had from a long time ago, which had expired unfortunately, and I kinda knew that, but you know, I said, what can happen to a powder? And by the time I saw you at Tryfan, that my body had decided that it was not going to have any of that. And I had drank on the climb of Tryfan my 2 bottles already, so I was out of water, and then out of body water as well. The next 7Ks were one of the hardest of my trail running career. Getting to Penny Pass, and then really taking the time there to get some Coca-Cola and Calippo, and take the time to cool down because we were getting overheated as well. It was really, it was quite a thing. The toughest bit was yet to come, the Kripkoch, and eventually I really enjoyed it because it was a tough climb and I took it easy. But on the ridge itself, once you're on, it's beautiful. It's really scenic, and you get stuck behind people, so you really can't go fast, which makes it safe. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in a place where I was racing there. So it was really quite enjoyable actually. And spoke to Laura as well. She told me that P was very close ahead of me, which gave me a big boost. Put my music in, caught up with him while he was filming on Mount Snowdon with the camera. Then met up with him. We did a couple of kilometers together, and then music took over again, and managed to get away. I found a stream just after where you were, filled up 2 bottles. A lot of strange looks because the stream was like this wide, but at that point, I mean, as long as it's not brown water, I would drink everything. And then the downhill, it was quite spicy just to get here. Honestly, this was a very, very long day for what was only 50 kilometers. I really don't see how you can do this in 7 hours in the winters. It's just incredible.
Really beautiful day. Extraordinary. A lot of sun, so it was also very hot. I didn't have enough water, so that's probably the reason why in the second half I was also slowing down, because the engine was just falling down. There was a beautiful moment when I could help some people on the route that were crying or having cramps. I had a lot of salt pills, so I helped them. I had really nice talks with people, random people. And to see Thomas suddenly passing me, feeling so great, and then walking with him and running, and then he was just gone, and he was feeling so good. So that was a beautiful moment.
This is not like Kilian Jornet.
Worst moment of day? Many. All 3 descents actually. I was not free to run down, so I was constantly braking and took a lot of energy and a lot of time. I saw a lot of people, I passed a lot of people going up, and then everybody passed me back when I was going down, so it's annoying. Tomorrow better.
Really enjoyed my day. It was beautiful, especially Crib Rock. It's really an experience. Problems with going down. Going out was fine. I was catching up a lot of people in the uphill, and the downhill I was having a lot of trouble. In the end, and I was twisting my ankle all the time, and it was I did like 5 or 6 times short in a row, and then it starts hurting, and it's not that pleasant actually. But anyway, in the end I was alone with Philippe, and then I stayed together so we can finish together. And he was out of water most of the time, and I had a lot of water, so I gave him some water, and that way we can finish together. I hope the 5 coming days will be faster.
My best moment was in the beginning. In the beginning I was went good until the CP1, so that's the first point where you get your back to eat something. It was after 29 kilometers, so until then everything went well. But after that there was a very steep mountain to climb, and on that mountain I have I don't know, hungry or not enough water, but that was a little bit the end of me. And after that it was just counting until the end. The worst moment was I thought you have the summit, and then I thought it's now down, down, down. But then you have a small mountain. It was 200 meters up, and mentally it was a breakdown point that I still have to go up instead of going down. So that was the breaking point. I was there with Matthias, so that was nice, and he was motivating me to go together to the finish, so it was nice. Yes.
I think what I'm really glad about, like the best thing of today, is that everyone is here. That is the great thing. I was really afraid that Matthias and Philippe had taken some delay, and I thought they were about an hour behind us. with that descent and Matthias, knowing Matthias on the descent, I was really afraid that he might lose more time and eventually not make it. So yeah, they were here only just before 9, so yeah, they did really well. Glad to get this day behind us. Stunning. It was a very good day, in fact. Started out with very good legs. First section must have overtaken, I think, 100 people. But after CP2, I started getting into really fast runners. There was a lot of runnable ground at the beginning. And then I found a guy named Ben. I think Ben was running at that point first of the field, but he started relatively early. And then he started pulling me faster and faster, and I couldn't follow. Started getting, the heat was starting to come, so I let him go and took it easy. And I found a guy named Matt O'Keefe, and he took me up the first Rinnock. And then we saw that there were guys that had found the shortcut. Followed those guys because they knew the shortcuts. The shortcuts were very, very steep. But yeah, I think in the end must have won about 20 minutes there. And it kept on coming. It kept on coming. It was one more, another more. No, it was just endless. So I'm taping my feet because of the moist. The skin is getting softer, or it's more akin to damage than usual. So. And then you end on the road, and there is 7 kilometers of road to run. With the same Ben I met up again, and we talked along the way. Did really well on the day. I think finished top 20, and overall somewhere in the 30s. So really proud of the day. Let's see about tomorrow. I do feel that my body is falling apart. So let's see how far we can go. Matthias and Philip really well, but unfortunately Philip was in the shortcut, and there with 2 other people who couldn't do it anymore, and then if your group morale is going down, it's really tough. And then they found a farm to take them to the camp. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. That's life. I think spirits are good. That's most important.
Day 2, I quit. Reason: too hot, too heavy, and everything, and was tired. And the last uphill was very, very steep, and it was already getting dark and things like that, and all the power was gone. So I decided to quit before the last hill, and I went back to the camp. So that was my Dragonbacks race till now. Next time better.
Applause.
Cool.
Well done, man. Difficult, much more difficult than yesterday. At the second part especially, you do 1.5 kilometers an hour. It's super steep going up, and you think, okay, going down I'm gonna recover a little bit of time, and it's not happening because it's scrambling down as well. And then you have 3 peaks right in a row. So it was, I had to go very deep today, and I have 2 blisters now that are my new friends, so let's see how I can treat them tomorrow. A little bit afraid that that's gonna be an issue later on. But let's see, let's take it day by day, like we always do. That's a fun part here. Everybody seems to be very friendly and open to have a conversation. So it passes time as well. I mean, having a good conversation going up, it really makes a big difference. So I'm gonna find somebody to tell my life story to tomorrow, because I'm gonna need it. Really.
It was a good race day. It was again super brutal. It was totally different than yesterday. I drank a lot more water. There was also a lot more water available, which keeps your engine fueled. So I wasn't feeling so tired today. My concentration was very good in the descents, and I got to know to some awesome people, of which, for example, Mark, and he took me on the very special tracks. It was so nice, and we talked about he's building his own sailing boat to do expeditions in Antarctica and stuff. So it was very nice to be for a couple of hours away from the reality. So there are two bad moments. There was a personal one of just the mid of the race was terrible. It was hot, difficult terrain, and you feel your energy depleting. And when I came into the second cutoff point, Thomas told that Philip was having it difficult, and so when we arrived here, I called because there's connection. So I called home, Sarah and the kids, and Sarah said that Philip was out of competition. So it's a really pity because Philip is not the guy to give up. I never ever actually. It's the first time in my life, and I know him since I'm 34 now. He never ever gave up on anything. So we will be good friends to him coming days.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it. To finish. And all the rest was hell. It was really hot, yeah. I think I drank like 12 liters of water or something. I met a lot of walls, you know. It's like every time you come to a wall and it's like, oh fuck, I can't break through it, and you break through it. And maybe it was 2 or 3 walls too much today to be good. When I left the second stop, then I after eating, I was 10 minutes before the cutoff time, so I knew it would be very hard to flip. And actually, I think he did the right decision, because if I see how much time I did from that point to the finish, and knowing he was not going faster than me, then he would never have made it. So he would just have suffered himself really, really bad without that much of a result. So the last climbs was really like, they were really. I was hoping I would be out of time when I was climbing there. But then you look at your watch and it's like, yeah, I can be in time, and then you start running again, and then unfortunately I arrived in time. So I have to go again tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow, we'll see what happens. My daughter, she asked me, can you still walk?
It's 70% failures so far after day 2. day, starting to get the hang of this. It's really run, eat, sleep, repeat. This is crazy. I mean, this event just keeps going, and once you get the hang of it, it starts feeling almost natural. Come here, wash our clothes in the river, bathe down. It was a very cold river. You really enjoy getting clean, get the salt off your body. Had a beer and a cigarette. It was amazing. So yeah, no, overall really good. I started at 6:25, a bit later than I wanted. Been trying to catch P all day, and then finally, in the big highlight of the day was that we passed a supermarket. I mean, just to imagine, in 3 days we haven't passed civilization once. The only civilization is this area. Today we went through a town and they had a shop, and obviously we were well enough at the front that the shop wasn't raided yet, although most of the Coke cans had gone already. And I bought some beers and a Coke and some Fanta, and yeah, great. I mean, that was the highlight. It keeps you going. And I saw P. P was there. He bought strawberries, grapes, tomatoes, some fresh food to get better. And then we shared food, and we decided to do the last bit together. I had a big dip, like started off comfortably, then had a massive dip somewhere around the middle section of that last portion, and then once we hit the top, put the music in, threw all my water away. I was carrying 4 liters, and then we flew off the mountain. It was amazing. I had goosebumps all over. You have it on camera. It was an amazing moment. We were flying. It was amazing. Together with the doctor I ran with today a lot, and P, and then we crossed the finish line together. It was just such a powerful moment.
Today was a great day. I learned a lot the 2 previous days on how to prepare the food, intake of the food, and I left the first group or the second group, and I was, after I think 1 hour in the climb, I was second or third, and I put like a comic show in my ears. And so I was doing a shortcut, and suddenly I see like 10 people following me, and I'm like, no, I'm a Belgian. I don't know it here. But yeah, it worked well, and I was on the summit. It's so nice to be alone in the mornings when everything is still. It's not a race then, you're just focused in your own bubble. The nice thing was, after cutoff 2, we shared food that we bought, we had the drinks, and we started talking about that we do this event together, but in a way you're never running together, so that's strange. But then all the preparations we did to come here, we did together. So this is kind of the moment de gloire, like it's the moment where it needs to happen, and everybody has its own rhythm. So we talked very nicely, and he had a bad moment, I had a bad moment, so we yo-yoed, and then the last climb was amazing. I had a Coke still left, so we drank a Coke together on the summit, and then I thought Nick was like done with the descent, but suddenly he blasts. But then he waited just like 1 kilometer from the finish here, and then we ran the last mile together, and we hugged for a long time when we digged in the finish. Yeah, so yeah, beautiful day. I had a lot of dreams of being here after day 3, and it's now a reality, so I'm just super happy.
I was in a good mood. In the beginning of the day, I felt like everything was going to be just fine. And then the first stop I said like, okay, let's continue this pace, but it was just not working. So I had like a very difficult middle part. The roads were easier though in the middle part, but I just had I didn't have a lot of energy. And then the last part I did, but the terrain got more difficult, so the energy that I got from the last part I couldn't use because there was just so difficult terrain. But overall I'm happy with the results, but I'm getting longer and longer days each time, so it's getting harder to be back in time, to have time to shower, well, time to jump in the river, which is horrible, by the way. Yeah, it was a lonely day. I didn't have a lot of companions, so usually that helps when you can talk. Time goes by twice as fast. So it was a long day for that reason also. Yeah.
Yesterday I quit and I did not finish, but they give you another possibility to run and to discover the landscapes, and so it's nice that you can do it on your own speed. If you're really broken down, you have to stop, but if you feel today is better, then yeah, you can just start and do again. So it's also because we are with 5 friends over here, so it's nice to... I'm still with him here, so I decided this morning to do just half of the day, so it was 32 kilometers. So I started at 12 o'clock, and then I started in the middle and I just ran to the finish. I think for me it was the best option to do today because my legs weren't that good, but today it went well to the end.
Well, I was quite tired today, so I had a slow start, and I arrived on time on the first checkpoint. I knew it would be difficult to get in time at the second one, and I'm already out of time now, so I came in this lovely village and I saw kebab, so Fanta. So finally a little bit of feast. Well, I'm out of competition from now on, yeah, that's true. And yeah, we'll see tomorrow, maybe we can start again together with Philippe or something, and do some parts. Let's see. It's a pity that I couldn't continue today, but yeah, I can run tomorrow out of competition if I want. So I'll have to see. I think I wait for tomorrow. I have some problems with my knee as well, so I'll see how it holds.
It was great, running. I saw Ben in the distance and I was with B, and I had good legs, and went for Ben. I thought I would never catch up with him, but all of a sudden I had legs to climb, and then got him on the downhill, and we kept on going. I wanted to be here before 5, and that was clearly gonna work. Shaving off 3 minutes every kilometer, it was, you know, it was amazing. Smug face. But yeah, lovely day, and look at this, I mean, wow. There were moments where I thought, oh, a little bit of rain would be great, and then 5 minutes later it rained. Oh, amazing. And it wasn't too wet underfoot because the soil was dry. Perfect conditions to run. The run of my life, honestly. It's the best that I've ever ran. Most uphill running that I've ever done. And then tomorrow is the big day, yeah? The day of the truth. Yeah, it's day 5 is the last very big day.
Why don't you show your feet on the camera?
Because I'm too stiff, eh? They're okay, huh? They're looking very good.
So today was 68 kilometers run and or 2,300 height meters. So relatively easy day, you would say, compared to the previous days. It's so nice to be home early for once, especially because of the big day tomorrow. It was a kind of dreamy state because it was very misty, a bit of rain. I felt not overheated like in the last 3 days. It was just a day actually that had to be done. So it was like that in my mind. I didn't have any negative thoughts. It was just keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. So yeah, happy. Nick is, I already said it a couple of times, he's a beast. He can have a very big low and then suddenly 10 minutes later he just lost speed. Yeah, it's so funny. Yesterday, because he had a low, I stayed with him, but then suddenly he blasted away because he was out of it, and then when I waited for him, I was having a high, so we found out now that it's better, like everybody has its lows and then the other one continues and we yo-yo between. Yeah, I think a really beautiful moment, or a very funny moment. Yeah, I talked about Mark, which is the English Scottish man. He's in his 50s, he's a fell runner. Today we were running on a small street and suddenly we were with 8 very good runners and he just took off completely into the wild and everybody stood perplexed, like what is he doing? And then yeah, we did a whole tour to arrive at the summit and Mark was already blasting away from the summit. Yeah, for me a bad moment, I would say I was very happy to touch a concrete street, but then after 8 kilometers or something, it was horrible. My feet were hurting, my thighs were completely contracting, so I had a great swim in the river trying to cryotherapy my legs, and they feel well now. I'm tired though, so I think I'm gonna sleep soon. Yeah. So I'm ready for tomorrow. So midges.
So today was day 4 for me. I did half a day again with Matthias, so it was nice to have a partner in crime. So we started I think halfway and we did 38 kilometers, and it was nice to do it with 2. So yesterday I did it alone, and then yesterday Matthias has to quit and he was thinking about what I'm gonna do when he maybe want to go home or something like that, but I told him that it's just nice to, now we are here in Wales, we have to enjoy the scenery and things like that. So he said yes, okay, like we're gonna try to do, and then we did it together. It was a nice day.
We are out of the race, so we only did half of the track, the second half. They told us that it could be very bad weather. I preferred to arrive wet in camp because the other option was to do the first part of the course. So we don't have to wait wet for a bus to leave at the middle checkpoint. But actually it was very dry. We left with some rain, but we didn't have to use our jackets. The legs were quite alright. Descending the knees still not really in pain, but yeah, I feel it. You're all the time like, oh, fuck, why am I doing this? And then you arrive in camp, it's like, oh, it's been a great day. So while doing it, it hurts, but when you arrive, it's very satisfying. It's a lovely day.
It's just those marshlands.
Yeah,
It's fucking
hard work, isn't it?
it's hard work. You just can't make any tempo.
But what would you rather have? Big peaks again and the hot weather, or a little bit of rain in the marshlands?
Although I was doing better in the peaks.
Yeah.
No, I don't wish that again.
You're doing good, mate. You're doing good. Yeah. Gonna keep on plowing on. Head down. One foot to the other.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Good job, mate. Well done.
Cheers. It went progressively worse today. I don't know what happened. But my feet prevent me from making more progress. And I'm also like depleted. Don't have any energy. Yeah, I'm gonna run a bit.
Good luck, man.
Nice day. It started off horrible, but then after I saw you, I had my second breath. Yeah, I made up. It could have been a much better day. I mean, looking at the time, 12:49, could have easily been 12 or less. But my feet and the grass, they don't match. So no, but I'm happy, and I'm also. I got a little bit of confidence again for tomorrow, which is going to be the heaviest day. But as we said before, day by day, we're going to take it one step at a time. We just start tomorrow and see how far we get. That's the only thing we can do.
So I'm Aid Fowler. My number for the race is 302, which I think we've got similar numbers as well. I think they're all, so I think the 300 series numbers have ended up with the first 6 being in the 10, and that's worked out really well, really lovely. So there was nobody knowing each other before. Well, I don't know whether you guys obviously did know each other, but I didn't know you lot, which has been lovely. So today what happened was at the beginning, at mile 3, I slipped down a bank in the trees coming out of the woods and my shoulder came out the front. So I have had dislocations before and that's happened a couple of times, but I didn't think it would happen anymore because I've actually been working out a bit to try and like build some strength to like not let it happen, and it bloody happened. So fortunately, first I had a lady behind me that was helping me, a girl called Anna, so she grabbed my poles and was staying with me. We didn't have a phone signal. We kept walking up a hill thinking we should get and find a signal to like SOS, because we hit our SOS button, but it's useless without a phone signal. So as we were walking up, runners were coming past offering paracetamols, and I took a couple and still working up the hill, and they were saying there's a guy with a shoulder specialist behind called Hugh, so you grab him and he'll work it out for you. So I was asking Hugh, will you put my shoulder back? And he just said, let's have a conversation at the top of the hill. That's all he would say. So we sat and he asked me some questions. He literally interviewed me about my medical history about my shoulder. And by that point there were 5-6 people around me, all trying to help, holding things for me, like my poles, take my bag off, lie me on the floor. One chap had his foot in my armpit. Hugh was rotating my arm around to loosen it, telling me to relax more. Then it had to get Anna to like give it an extra pull as well, so I had 2 of them pulling on my arm, and finally they got it in and told me to go on my way. But in fact, I don't know if they told me to do that. We just decided I should just get on with it. So that was the drama this morning. It was, I mean, just amazing how many people got involved and helped me out. It was quite incredible. So thank you for this opportunity to share that with you. And you know, so it's just been wonderful to meet you guys as well. I get a lot out of that myself. What a pleasure. And this is what it's about for me, is meeting more people. It's lovely.
before I started the Dragon, I always said I wanted to go to day 3, and if I finished or started day 3, then my personal goal would be attained. But by attaining that goal, suddenly the 5th day became the new goal. So I tried to be very conservative in my energy yesterday. I started this morning and I felt really great. It was the first 27 kilometers were kind of runnable. The real Brecon Beacon started, and it was just like misty, super rainy, super windy. You had to do constantly look at your navigation, because if you didn't look at it every 30 seconds, you would be off course. There were no tracks. So eventually it was a course of 70 kilometers, but I did 75 today because we zigzagged over these mountains. Yeah, there was a burger just before we went to Pen y Fan, which is like a legendary mountain in South Wales. And then we had a beautiful ridge run on these cliffs with the clouds coming over, suddenly a bit of sun, then clouds getting back. I was feeling Braveheart style, freedom! I felt I was close to the finish, so I tried to put on my phone to see whether there was connection. I put it away. I thought if there is connection, I will feel the messages coming in. And suddenly I got a call from Nick, so I gave a good talk to him to finish and to just don't think and just finish now. So I think it helped. And but I actually wanted to call Sarah, my wife. So I video called her, and we saw each other, and yeah, she was really proud. And when the call ended, there were some tears because I'm feeling very happy I got so far. It's a big personal victory.
It's okay, I'm really tired. Just way too long. I got so tired, my eyes were falling when we were closing. I tripped over because I fell asleep. I've had this before, but yeah, hallucinations at the end. It's not cool. I wasn't alone. There were other people struggling. I hope Thomas makes it. It's gonna be really difficult for him. In the dark, this last section in the dark is just insane. It was a very long day, and I can clearly see now how it feels to arrive after darkness and how frustrating it is. That combined with my inflamed blisters is just beyond. I mean, even if I wanted to move, I couldn't, and that was so frustrating. Even if the terrain allowed it, I couldn't move, and it was really heartbreaking. Anyway, there is worse in the world, eh? I'm totally disorientated. Fine, that's it, man. Sorry.
hardest day of my life, without a doubt. And that is all for today. It's a very simple thing. To conquer the trail, you have to become the trail. Take another one. In suffering, human is equal. There we go. Top of the morning. Oh, my. Ik heb mijn kloten aan de prikkeldraad.
Started with Matthias today, so we started at checkpoint 1, and then it was still 45 kilometers to go, and we started at 10 o'clock, something like that. And then yeah, it was nice, but then the first downhill, Matthias ruined his ankle, so he went out and I went alone, and then I met Peter, so I ran a while with Peter, and then yeah, but I have a good pace today, and the legs were feeling great. Only the feet are still hurting a little bit, but no, it was a good day, a good feeling all the day, and it's nice to run like that. Today the weather was different. There was a lot of rain and windy. It was also very cloudy, so I don't see nothing. But then we're on the beacons. It was very nice. You're always running on the ridge, and you had a nice view. So the clouds were gone, and it was nice to see. So you had a good view over the beacons. Sorry. Tomorrow's the last day, so I'm gonna see what tomorrow morning, the feet and the legs, and then we're gonna decide what we're gonna do. So it will be a big surprise tomorrow.
I went with Philippe to the midpoint to start. With the first descent I started twisting my ankle, and after 4 or 5 times it really started to hurt. Actually in the morning I already went to the medic tent to tape it, so I thought it would be okay, it would be fixed, but it wasn't fixed enough, so I was still able to slip it, and yeah, then I saw you, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to run a whole day twisting my ankle, and I know it will end up like this, so then I stopped. I could help the guys with some hamburgers, so I made sure I just checked where they were on the tracking, and then every time they arrived I took care there was a warm hamburger and a cold Coke, so they have something nice during the day.
Come on boy, battle dog.
Tomorrow we leave at 6 and finish it.
That's it, man. Get the dragon, fly back well, fly back home.
The day 6, there was never ever before on the Dragon's Back race, so nobody knew what it would be like. I cried at the end of day 5 after calling Sarah. I knew I completed the race, but it's very dangerous when you think about finishing it already, when you still have 63 kilometers to do and 1,300 or 1,700 height meters. So I tried to refocus in the morning, trying to leave as early as possible and do the same routine as the first 5 days. In the beginning it was still nature, but then it became roads, asphalt, terrible. It was just plowing, turning the button. Those last 30 kilometers were an amazing experience. I had the best runners passing me, saying good race. And then I called Nick to ask, like, Nick, I really want to go over the finish together. Where are you? So he says, like, yeah, I'm at the cutoff 2. I'm only like half an hour behind you, so you can wait. So I started talking to an English guy, and he said, like, I need to wait for my girlfriend because she's still on the train, so I cannot finish without her seeing me. We pass a pub. He says, like, you want a pint of Guinness? So I drink a Guinness 10 kilometers before the finish with this guy. Matthias arrives, he says, like, oh, you're drinking a Guinness. So he takes a Guinness, but then we see that Nick is still like 45 minutes behind us. And then Matthias starts like running like a hare in front of me, like we're at 5 minutes, 25 seconds per K running the last 10K. So I was dying, but the Guinness gives a lot of energy. And then, yeah, we were like in the last kilometer for the castle. You see the stadium of Cardiff, and then you know, like, you fucking did it. You conquered the dragon. You arrive in the castle, you hear everybody cheering, and you run over the finish. You have everybody you've seen for a whole week is there applauding, cheering, and I didn't shed a tear because my real finish was on day 5, mentally and the relief, but it was so beautiful to arrive and to be eventually 35th in the overall ranking, just behind Nick, which is perfect, so he can have the real victory in his mind. Fucking hell. I need some time for this. And a beer. A lot of beer.
Old lads from Belgium.
This guy's had a smile on his face for 6 days strong. Well done, Peter. What an experience. Well done.
I didn't want to start because the 5th day I twisted my ankle too many times really bad, and I was really sick of it, and I didn't want to completely fuck it up. But yeah, then you're sitting there with your friends at the evening and they're all going to run and you're not, and it's quite not that good. So I thought, yeah, let's do it anyway. So I went to the medic. She taped my ankle again so I could compete, and together with Philippe we only did halfway, so yeah, it was only 30 kilometers, so it was okay. We were waiting to get started because we couldn't start before 11:30, and at 11 Peter passes by. Yeah, it was really like a red flag for me, like a red flag for Bull, like okay, now I have a point to fixate on me. In the beginning I was running with Philippe, but yeah, I wanted to go faster, so I left him. And then I was really going very well, and I came into a village, and at the village there was a pub. In the pub, Peter was standing there with a Guinness. I was like, Peter, okay, I'll get one too. So I get a Guinness as well. We both drank our Guinness quite quickly, so we could continue, and that's like, okay, I'm not going to enter the castle in front of Peter because it would be really silly because I hadn't done the same mileage as him, but I wanted to make speed as fast as possible, so I just ran in front and next to him and keep on pushing him to go as fast as he could, and we did it quite fast. It was the last 10 Ks. Yeah, we came at the castle together, and I let him pass me, and so he could enter in front of me and finish his dragon as fast as possible. So that was great. Yeah, big finish. Yeah, it was lots of emotions at the finish. Yeah.
The last day, it was a lot of streets we have to run on, and the views and things like that. It was not so nice to run. But then, yeah, the last kilometers just enjoying, and for me it was emotionally to get there because, yeah, I struggled with myself on the road to run, and I had a lot of pain and things like that. But yeah, I was happy to see the castle and to run in the castle and to be over there. Last day, it's always something emotionally. You're happy that it's the last day, but you're also a little bit unhappy because it's the last day. It's a strange feeling. I was really happy that everything was done for my body, the feet. But yeah, it was an amazing week, and the last day you're thinking what was the week, and you're thinking about everything and the experience and everything you did. We were there with 5 friends, and it was a physically and emotionally a hard week. You have 6 days, and every day you're living from day to day. And when it's the last day, you're thinking, oh, what was the week? And you're just thinking about all what happened, the running, the views, the friendship, eating together, sleeping together, running together. Yeah, it was a big adventure. It was a nice adventure. I ran a lot with Matthias because on the second day I was really disappointed. I was out, so the race was over for me. So that for me was a little bit something, what do I want to do? Am I going home? Or I just gonna run still or stay with the friends? And so, but then the third day, Matthias was also out. So for me it was nice to run together, because when you're together, you have a bad moment, but Matthias have a good moment, and it's real friendship, and then it goes better. So it was really nice to run from day 4, 5 to 6 with Matthias, and we stayed a lot together, and it was something to inspire myself, and it was nice to do something like inspiration to do things together, because alone is just alone. Everything is just so long when you're doing it alone. It's always nice to do it together with a friend.
Amazing day. Started out slowly with Dr. Simon and had a really good time. Saw my brother, saw the drone, saw you. And then all of a sudden the flame awoke in me and I wanted to give it the beans. And then all of a sudden I had my race plan figured out. Every 5K, food, caffeine, things, everything came together. And it really worked well. I lost a bit of time in the beginning, but then really raced it. And it was amazing. Can't wait. Hotel, proper bed, proper restaurant. Almost there. This is quite nice though. Running on grass, slightly downhill. See in the distance, very far distance. Yeah, living the dream. I think we had an incredible week. It's been a tremendous experience to have all 5 of us together. I think we're gonna remember this for the rest of our lives. And ultimately, that was the goal, to make core memories. We made great friendships, great moments, great memories, great fun, laughter, but also tough moments, very tough moments. We went through it all together, and it was heartening. I've said it over and over again. This was about friendship, brotherhood, and love. And I think what happened, what happened at the finish yesterday was beyond expectations. Having Alexia there, having Laura there, everyone together. It was such an overwhelming moment. I was stunned by it. Having all friends sending messages from all sides, this was just, it was a complete, overwhelming blur of emotions. The arrival was just spectacular. For me, it was a moment in life to cherish forever.
Another one of our Belgian friends, Nick van Praag. Nick van Praag, everyone.
The last day, it was a special day, very special day. It's the happiest day of my life, actually. Last day was a pretty easy one, or they said it was a pretty easy one. There were a few climbs in there. I know Nick and Peter were like, yeah, it wasn't really a big thing, but for me the feet were still killing me, and I didn't get enough painkillers to really help me through that first part of the day. So it was still like trying to forget about the pain, basically, and just push through. And it made it worth it, knowing that it was the last day, of course. So it was that made it a little bit easier. And then the second part of the day, I really got my actual groove on again, and I found my inner spirit, or something that would keep me going. I had good music, everything was going well for the last 15 kilometers. I had like wings, it was fantastic. Yeah, everything was perfect for the last 10 or 15 kilometers. And then I called Anouk, my girlfriend, and we had like a conversation. I was just walking the street. We were like a pretty boring piece of the trail, so I was talking to her, and she was explaining that she wasn't gonna make it to Cardiff after all, because Sarah couldn't get somebody to watch the kids. And I understood. I was like pretty disappointed, because I had been looking forward to seeing her all week, and it was kind of what kept me going to get it to the finish line. But it was just like that, and so I said, okay, it's a pity, but I'm not gonna see her at the finish. I remember very clearly walking through that last 100 meters and hearing already Peter shouting, "Yeah, let's go, Tommy." And I arrive, I put my wristband into the beeper, And when I do that, I look straight in front of me is Anouk. And she runs towards me, and I just completely was overwhelmed by emotions. And it was a very spontaneous moment, but I knew already, like I had the plan. It was a seed when the Dragon's Back race was an idea, and it became something real when I was running a Dragon's Back race, but I knew at that moment that I wanted to ask her to be my wife. So I fell to one knee, and all the cameras were on there. It wasn't really planned, it was a very spontaneous thing. Afterwards it's fun to see on tape whatever happened, but so I fell on one knee and asked her to be my wife and make me the happiest man on earth. We're gonna get married, and so no, that was a very emotional finish and a very happy moment. The happiest moment of my life, for sure, until now. It was something I didn't expect, and it all happened just in a few instants, but it was there and it was so real, it was so perfect, it was fantastic.
Position we've got from Belgium, Thomas van Praag.
This man went down on one knee to his girlfriend, who is now his fiancée. They're going to get married. What a week, what a day for him. Awesome, brilliant.
I didn't think, to be honest, they would, any of them, before they started this challenge, I just said, Nick, you're crazy. People are not going, you're not going to finish it. It's just too much. I saw the documentary, it's too many kilometers, too many meters of height. You're not going to finish. But actually, 3 of them did finish, and also the others even continued running along the course, and so impressive, given the 20% of participants that he managed to finish it. So that in itself is already huge. He really wanted to do a sportive challenge, but really together with his best friends, so he can share it, and I'm very proud of him.
And then about the Dragon's Back race, yeah, I told my brother, like, I really hated him for making us do this during the week, because we went so fucking deep, and at a certain moment I was really ready to just throw in the towel and say, this is not for me, it's just too brutal, you know, and there is nothing fun about it. And I still think that way, and I still see it as something that slaps you in the face when you think you're getting up and thinking, oh, this might be something cool, and then it just says no, bam! It'll get you back to the ground, it'll get you back on the floor, and you have to start right over again and try to make the experience something that, you know, you can still see the finish line and still keep going, even though that the moment itself is it's not fun, it's just suffering, it's just pain, all of that. Yeah, I'm really happy that we took part in this crazy adventure, the 5 of us. I'm really proud of all of us for participating. Yeah, I'm also really thankful for the people that supported us during the way, because getting those messages for the Dragon's Back mail every night was fantastic. Reading them, it's the stupid small things, but they make it real, and they make you want to keep pushing and keep going.
Will I come back to finish the Dragon's Back race? For me now at the moment, because it's the day after, I don't think I will do it again. If they will ask me again to do it, again with the friends, I will say yes. And then I will hope that I will stay a little bit longer in the race. But I don't know with my preparations or I can finish it now. No, I don't think so. So it's not because the second day I was overheated, but I don't know. For me now at the moment, I don't think it was possible to reach a finish. And so, but yeah, it was my first multi-day race, so I learned a lot of it. So that's a good thing.
While completing something like this, and I mean, we started with almost 450 people, and there are 80 people finishing, and we're in the top 30 and 50, so it's, yeah, very special. Yeah, we did it. Fucking hell, we did it. We killed the dragon. Yeah, really nice.
Nice job, man.
Thanks.
I came here to run 380 kilometers. I have done 240 in 6 days, which is not as much as I wanted to run, but if I look at the others, their feet, who have done it, especially Thomas and Nick, then I'm quite happy I haven't done it. I was not prepared the way I should have been. It's my first multi-day race. I've learned a lot and maybe I will come back. But if I come back, I want to do it and I want to arrive every day at 6 or 7. Not at between 9 and 10 as I did. So, because then you don't have time to prepare yourself for the next day, to have the rest you needed.
We went through the challenge and that is the most important thing. Whether you ultimately finish or not is not the point. The point is that we did this all together and we created great memories and we're able to spend this week as a band of brothers, really.